Hey there, everyone. This is Troy with today's Heartbeat. This is video number 2 in our Boundaries series. The first one was about never borrowing money from a client, and this one is about borrowing items. And to help me with this video here today, I have several props all around me. I have an oversized coffee pot, an invasive houseplant, high-tech calculator, and last but not least, my favorite stuffy. We'll just perch him right up here so he can see. And I ask you the question, what did these items have in common? Answer, these are all items that can be borrowed, but should they? And in order to answer that question here, we're going to talk about boundaries. And if you watched the first video, you already are familiar with boundaries. And borrowing items is very similar. Boundaries protect the working relationship between the client and the caregiver. And if you maintain these professional boundaries, it'll protect you from the mistakes of others. They won't mean to make a mistake. They won't mean to be forgetful. But when that happens, when they're forgetful, it protects you as the caregiver from accusations, and it keeps your reputation clean. And so here, in order to drive this point home today, we are going to take a pop quiz. Don't worry, it's pretty easy. One question, multiple choice. And if you watch the first video on boundaries, this will be a piece of cake. All right, question is, when is it okay to borrow an item from a client? A, when they say it's okay. B, when I can bring the item back the next day. C, when I get permission from the family, or D, never under any circumstance. You can think about it here for a moment. All right, if you chose D, never under any circumstance, you are correct. We should never borrow any items from a client. It only will open you up to accusations. It happened to a Home at Heart caregiver many years ago. Their client's kitchen appliance was broken. The client caregiver tried to fix it, couldn't fix it there at the client's home. So they took the appliance to their own home, tried to fix it there, wasn't able to. When they brought it back to the client accused the caregiver of breaking it. And so the caregiver had that accusation that was brought against them. And so that's why these boundaries exist. They protect you as a caregiver. And so if you want more information about boundaries, more detail, you can go to your caregiver handbook, page 33 and 34, give a little bit more detail. And if you want to find that handbook, it's also online at the Home at Heart webpage. All right, so to recap here, never, under any circumstances, borrow an oversized coffee pot, invasive plant, or high-tech calculator from your client, or their ratty old shoes, even if they may think that you want them, or a t-shirt, or especially, under no circumstances would you ever borrow their favorite stuffy. That is a recipe for disaster. All right, well, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one. Thanks for taking care of your client and making their day great. And we will catch you on the next one.